Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. We just got done watching WrestleMania 40 last night, and oh my God, Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion. I told everyone that was going to happen, and it did. I am your host, Justin. I am here with Tyler, my co-host.
Welcome.
How you doing today, Tyler? How you feeling after all that adrenaline pumping through you on WrestleMania 40?
Not gonna lie, I'm definitely upset that Cody beat Roman.
Of course you are.
Yeah, I think Roman should have went and beat the record.
I think that he was the closest to being able to do it. I don't think anyone is ever going to get anywhere near.
I don't think anyone's ever gonna get near Roman's
Roman's
reign.
Anywhere near it. And props to Roman Reigns, and loved what he did. He is our tribal chief. He is our head of the table. I acknowledge our tribal chief full-heartedly, I promise. But it is Cody's time. It is now Cody's time. We are recording this 30 minutes before Monday Night Raw starts, the Raw after WrestleMania, the best Raw of the year. We are going to end up probably cutting this right off as soon as it starts so that I can jump right into watching that. Sadly, we are not going to be able to record a podcast reviewing that one, but we are going to give our full WrestleMania review right now as much as we can give, because I really want to watch Monday Night Raw. So, last night, Cody Rhodes wins, big moment. Night one, Rock and Roman in the main event won. What night did you think was better? Because I know what night I have picked as my favorite night.
I like night one better.
You
to
like
be honest.
night one better.
I like night one.
I was a bigger fan of night two. I thought night two had just such awesome matches. I mean, the Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins stuff with our World Heavyweight title, and then Damian Priest comes out. Damian Priest is now our World Heavyweight champion. Who would have thought that was going to happen? I didn't. Probably a lot of people did predict that, but it didn't even cross my mind. Also, by the way, our prediction videos from last week, your winner right here. I got the most amount right. I am your new champion. How's it feel to be a loser, Tyler?
Yeah, that's what you're going
the
with
hardcore
now?
is champion because the hardcore is life.
Surprise.
Yeah, really, surprise. Who would have thought it? But yeah, I mean, I'm going to put this on the line any chance that I can get. We're going to do quiz videos some weeks. We're going to do talk show or game shows. We're going to do all different kind of things. So any chance I get to defend that title on this show, I'm going to do it. But right now, first one of the year, we finally got to do our WrestleMania predictions. We got to live through it. It was such a great experience to watch. If we go down the list, I have the full list right in front of me. I mean, we picked some very correct, and we picked some not so correct.
Oh man.
So I mean, night two was kind of like the one that I wasn't really expecting to be as good as it was. I on my list that I had, I thought night one was gonna clear night two, but they completely changed everything. There was also the Final Testament versus the Bobby Lashley's group that aren't the Hurt Business, but they're the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. They probably should have just called themselves the Hurt Business, but
yeah.
It says on here the Pride. I don't know if that's the name they're going by. I haven't heard that on TV yet. I might have just not been listening, but apparently they're called the Pride now versus the Final Testament. We didn't do any predictions for that, so that one doesn't count. We're throwing that one out. That one was announced late. We're going to keep the prediction for Rey Mysterio and Andrade. It was supposed to be Rey and Dragon Lee. That got changed, so we are going to keep that prediction because my prediction didn't change, their prediction didn't change. I was still thinking Dom was going to win, but I mean, it was probably a stupid choice by me, but it's whatever. Going down this list, Drew McIntyre defeating Seth Rollins on night two for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then Damian Priest cash in. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Damian Priest being our new world champion and finally cashing in that Money in the Bank briefcase he's been holding on to for so long?
I missed it. I missed that match, so I don't have a whole lot of input, but I wish McIntyre actually got to... Yes, he got to feel like a champion, but he didn't get it for more than an hour. He didn't get it more than
No, he didn't
5
get
minutes.
No, not more than 5 minutes. CM Punk ended up taking off his brace, attacking Drew McIntyre with it. I thought everything was phenomenal with that entire segment. I thought the match was absolutely amazing. It started off with a Claymore right off the bat. That was awesome. I would highly suggest that match is one of the ones that you should go rewatch from this, because I do think it was one of the best matches of the night. Damian Priest winning, that was really cool. I didn't think it was going to be as big of a moment as it ended up being. It was actually really cool to watch, and the crowd erupted for it. So I'm really glad that Damian got his moment and he got to be that big star for once. It's been a while since I thought Damian Priest would make it to that level, but he made it. He's there.
I thought he would have failed.
I thought he would have failed too. I thought he would have cashed in like 2 months from now and probably failed the cash in, but he's our world champ now, and we'll see what's going on Monday Night Raw tonight, and we'll see if it ends up turning out as well as people are
Which
hoping
night
for.
was Gunther and Sammy? I forget.
That was
already.
night one. That was night one.
Okay.
We'll get to that. I'm running down the night 2 first, and then we'll go back and we'll do night 1 after that. So we have the Pride versus the Final Testament. I guess that's Bobby Lashley's new group. It was a fun match. Bubba Ray Dudley was the special guest referee, and Snoop Dogg was on commentary. He didn't make it here for that one either. He got here right after that one ended, so he didn't get to see that. But it was a phenomenal match. It was very entertaining.
I was a little busy.
Yeah, Bubba Ray hit all of his move. Get the tables. What's up? He did all of it. It was all fun. It was all Philly street fight stuff. You know how it is. So go back and watch that too. I go back and watch this whole thing. I'm gonna watch the whole thing over again after Monday Night Raw. Probably it's gonna be so much fun. Going down the list a little bit more. AJ Styles versus L.A. Knight. Yeah. It was a good match. It kind of came to an abrupt end, kind of something very similar to Jay versus Jimmy the night before, becoming a very abrupt ending to the match.
Yeah. Those two could have fought for longer.
Yeah, I think they could have. I thought it was a really good match, though. For what it was.
I think every match on the card was good enough to go longer than 20 minutes without a doubt.
Yeah.
It didn't matter the matchup.
And this one had so much beef building up. There was that whole, they got into a scrap the other day, and AJ had a busted-up nose, and then he took him down. He picked him up like Marab did to Henry Cejudo on UFC 298, UFC 298, and just walked him around the octagon. AJ did that same thing to LA Knight, and it was pretty cool. LA Knight picked up the big dub. I mean, he's got big things coming to him. I don't know if he's ever going to win the big one, like the actual world title. But United States title against Logan Paul at SummerSlam would be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, now that Gunther and Reigns aren't reigning anymore,
it mixes up the division a lot.
It gives opportunity to everybody now. It doesn't just limit the table to, you got to put this much work in and do this and do that. And then maybe you get a shot at taking the title.
And then Triple H announced on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive, that there will be a draft coming within the next month. So there's going to be a lot of change-ups. LA Knight could end up on either brand. He could go up against Sami Zayn for the IC title, US title against Logan Paul. I think Megastar versus Megastar makes more sense. So I'd probably keep him on wherever Logan Paul goes. They might move the United States title over to Raw because Logan's been very adamant that he wants to be on Raw rather than SmackDown. So maybe LA Knight follows him over there. Speaking of Logan Paul, probably my personal favorite match of night 2. I enjoyed this match the most watching it. It was fun. It was Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus Logan Paul for the United States title. You had Randy Orton. Jason had Kevin Owens. I had Logan Paul. I thought it was exactly how it was going to go. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton were eventually going to step on each other's toes, and it was going to cause an opening for Logan Paul to take advantage. And speed was there. That was fun, watching him get Spartan kicked by Randy Orton. That was a lot of fun.
I show speed.
Yeah. So how did you feel about Randy Orton and Kevin Owens losing to Logan Paul?
It was a great match. It was a funny match. Yes, it would have been nice for Randy to win, but in the end, that was a great match.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was my favorite match of night 2. We'll get to what my favorite match of night 1 was in a little bit, but yeah, so entertaining. Logan Paul's on top of the world. I mean, he botched I think 2 moves, but at this point, honestly, his botches look more like actual realistic. That's how it would really look if they were fighting.
Where were his botches at?
I think they did like the suplex, like you know how no one can suplex Kevin Owens off the top rope,
Yeah.
like no one can
Oh,
superplex him.
that looked botched.
Yeah, and
that
then
looked
he kind of
botched.
cradled him wrong, like
It looked more like a reversal though. Like as he went, Kevin Owens just reversed it
yeah.
and just
I mean that's what
slammed him.
he's supposed to do, but like he did it a little fast, like brought him down. I think it was probably Logan Paul who messed it up. I'll give Kevin Owens the credit for wrestling for the last 20 years. And then Logan Paul did his front flip over the top rope later in the match and went for the clothesline against
Double.
Randy. But then he ended up getting scoop slammed. But, I mean, Logan kind of landed wrong. But the commentators played it off perfectly, and they were just like, oh, like that slight hesitation by Logan Paul on landing ended up giving the advantage to Randy Orton so that he could hit that scoop slam. It was all good stuff. Logan Paul won. He won with a frog splash. It was all cool. No complaints there.
No, Randy Orton kicking out of the brass knucks.
I was shocked by that. I thought that match was over, but I couldn't see Randy Orton taking a pin by
Randy
Logan.
Orton might be one of 3 guys that I could see getting brass knucks and kicking out.
Yeah. So the next match on night 2 is Bayley versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's title. That was another phenomenal match. I mean, Io Sky is very underrated when it comes to her actual in-ring performances. She's one of the best, and we all know Bayley is one of the best. She's Bayley. Phenomenal match. Everything went well. They were smooth. I thought that was the smoothest match out of them all. They worked very, very incredibly well together. And Bayley picked up the big win in the end. I don't know what else there really is to say about it. I mean, Bayley has been telling the story for a while now that she's been ousted by her own group, and the culmination was incredible to watching her get to that pinnacle. Did you feel anything special about Bayley in that moment?
I, in the end, was actually more surprised that they got rid of Bayley out of Damage Control, because if they keep Bayley, champ or not champ, no matter which woman in the group has the belt, I think that women's faction would have taken off.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the group has already taken off. I think that they all deserve their respect. I mean, Asuka's already great. I mean, we all know that.
We'd have to say took off, because now it's not taken off.
Yeah,
they don't even have a champ anymore.
I mean, they still have the tag titles.
Oh,
which we will talk about in a minute when we get to night 2. I mean, we're gonna jump to night 2 now, or night 1 now, because I want to go through everything else, and then I want to talk about Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth, and then back to back with what happened. So we're running down night 2 first, then we're gonna do night 1, all of night 1, and then we're gonna go back and talk about Cody and Roman at the end. So now we're gonna move on to Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, which opened up night 1 of WrestleMania. Dude, I had Mommy winning this whole thing. I knew she was gonna win. You had your doubts. You thought that the man was gonna beat Mommy, but she just didn't. I mean, Mommy's on top. Mommy's always on top.
Oh man.
How do you feel about
again? I also missed that match night 1. I
Yeah.
missed both good title matches both nights, but I can't change that. So
Rhea Ripley is going to reign for a really, really long time. I don't
give it another year. I don't give it another year.
I'd give it another year. I'd give it until next year's WrestleMania. I really don't see anyone even coming close to Rhea Ripley's star power, abilities in the ring.
There's only 2 women at this point,
and she's beaten both of them back to back at WrestleMania. Charlotte last year, Becky this year. I mean, Bianca's the only one that could hold a candle to her at this point, and I think they try and keep Bianca and Rhea separate as much as possible.
Jade Cargill.
But Jade Cargill's doing this whole thing with Bianca and Naomi, and I think that Jade would probably
You think they're going to stay?
Well, think about it. Jade's fighting Damage Control right now. I think that she's probably got a long time before she even makes it to the main event scene against Rhea, but I do see that being a good competitor. It all depends on how the draft turns out next month, honestly, to see where Jade goes. Because I don't see it making sense that she goes after Bayley, but I also think that they need to build her up a lot more before they put her up against Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Like, she's got that star power, but she's had 2 matches in the WWE. She needs...
If she defeats like Becky, Charlotte, if she defeats them within the year and works her way up, there's no doubt that she's gonna gun for Rhea out of all of them.
Maybe win the Rumble next year. That's a possibility. Elimination Chamber's always there. But yeah, Mommy, love Mommy. Rhea Ripley, big kiss, love it. Love Mommy. She's great. Becky Lynch had her time. She's great too. Don't get me wrong. It's just Rhea Ripley's time. Next match on the card, we're going to go to the tag team ladder match where you and I both picked Awesome Truth. That was a lock. That was always going to be a lock. I gave no credit to Jason. Jason couldn't make it here today, but big credit to Jason for picking A-Town Down Under for winning one of those sets of tag team titles. That was goddamn impressive because I did not give him any credit for that. Didn't think it was going to happen.
We didn't give credit to A-Town Down in the first place.
Not at all.
We didn't think they'd win. I mean, I threw the New Day in there because I'd like to see the New Day win, but at the end of the day, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller have been making more of an impact than the New Day have been.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And I think Awesome Truth was the right pick for winning one of those sets of tag titles. I think that was a really good pick. A-Town Down Under, gave no credit to them. Didn't think that it was even possible, but props to Jason.
How long do you think R-Truth has left?
Maybe a couple years. I don't see it lasting. I don't see his career lasting like another 10, but I see it maybe until he loses those tag titles, maybe starts fading away again.
I think, they gave him the title. That was his first time for a tag title.
Yeah.
And he's won
tag titles before. R-Truth has won tag titles with like Kofi and shit. R-Truth has definitely won tag titles with Kofi. At least Kofi Kingston. I know that.
Someone was...
Right when I started watching wrestling, actually, Kofi and R-Truth were the tag team champions in like 2013.
So was it Austin Theory and Grayson Waller? Grayson Waller, it was his first time.
Yeah, it was Grayson Waller's first time, yeah. And Austin Theory had never won a tag team title either, but...
No, he only held the U.S. title.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, great match. That was a boatload of fun watching that ladder match. I mean, I enjoyed the entire thing. Really thought that Judgment Day was going to hold all the gold by the end of the night still. Like, I didn't think that Damian was going to cash in Money in the Bank, but I didn't think that they were going to take the tag titles away from him. But, yeah, no, confusing for A-Town Down Under, but props to Jason for getting that pick right. That was a shot in the dark.
That
was a shot in the dark, and it worked. So, next up, Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. We're just going to get this right out of the way right now. Rey Mysterio won. Who cares? Let's move on.
No.
Honestly, I didn't even watch this match. I think I was doing something else.
You were going to get the pizza.
Yeah, I was going to get pizza.
I was here. I watched that match.
I
was confused for 90% of the match because I was expecting Dragon Lee, and I'm watching this fight, listening to the word and them saying Andrade, and I'm like, one of these people are not supposed to be in this match.
That happened on Friday. They changed the whole thing on Friday and put Andrade in the match rather than Dragon Lee. It's whatever. I haven't gone back to watch the match yet. Dominic Mysterio lost, so I really don't give a shit.
It was a great match because Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson from the Eagles showed up and helped Rey Mysterio out.
I do remember seeing that afterwards, so that seems fun, but I mean...
it was a great match. It was definitely a great match.
My poor Dom Dom.
Enough with Dom Dom.
He's Dom Dom, dude. He's going to be the GOAT one day, I swear to God.
7 years. Mark my word.
All right.
Mark my word. 7 years. He might hold the world titles.
2 years.
That's BS. That's BS.
Okay. Speaking of family rivalries, we've got the most boring match of the night.
I think it was the most boring.
Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I mean, it was a lot of talking to each other and super kicks and just staring and trying to plead with each other. But it was such an abrupt end. The crowd didn't really pop for it. It was just such a weird match. They could have done so much better, but I like that they got their moment on night 2 with the whole Cody Rhodes stuff and coming out and helping. It's just so disappointing that their match fell flat.
The crowd cheered better when Jey Uso walked out with Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
They cheered better there than they did the entire match. Actually, I'm lying. They did chant pretty loudly, "Yeet" and no
Yeah,
heat,
yeah.
and they went back and forth.
But then they kind of died out when
they stopped doing it.
Yeah, they stopped doing.
They weren't going back and forth anymore. Then one person took over, then the other would But without a doubt, that was the most boring match of both nights of all of WrestleMania.
I thought there was going to be so many shenanigans there. I don't think there was one shenanigan in the whole match.
That match, though, that should have been like an hour-long match. Those
I don't
two
know
know each other.
30.
Those two know each other the most.
Yeah, but I'd get bored of an hour-long match.
Okay,
between the
but
two of them.
they're
not.
I don't
not
even
that.
think they did
They're not all
15
that.
minutes.
And they should have gotten a little more time, but. All right, I had to turn the heater off. Monday Night Raw is about to start, and we are not done with this card. So I think I'm going to turn Monday Night Raw on right now, watch at least the first segment of it, and then we're going to come back and finish the rest of this card because there's only 4 matches left. And they're probably like 3 of them are probably the most important matches of the night, honestly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be right back. I'm going to watch the opening segment of Monday Night Raw. I might even talk about it a little bit first, and then we're going to get back into this card. Be right back. All right. We decided to do Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi while we're still waiting for Monday Night Raw to start because it's not on quite yet, and I think we could probably do we could probably cover this beforehand. There's not really much to talk about. I mean, Jade Cargill looked great. Bianca Belair looks great. Naomi looks great. Damage Control, I'm so happy to see. What's her name back? Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai is great in the ring. I love watching her in the ring. So I'm glad to see her back. She's phenomenal. The other two, obviously, Asuka and Kairi Sane, they're both great too. But the star of the match was Jade Cargill. That's why this match was put together in the first place, was to give her the stage at WrestleMania.
I think it was a good match. I just think that it was a little lackluster. I mean, there were a couple who have been out of the ring or out of it for a good bit now, like at least Naomi. Naomi hasn't done this in a while. She took time off from WWE, came back. This is only her second or third match that I've seen.
I think she's had a couple on like SmackDown, but like this is like her first like big time match since like the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber. I mean, those are the only 2 pay-per-views.
I just thought some moves were a little boring. I just thought a couple spots were a little lackluster and could have amped it up. But yeah, I think it was like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it was like the middle of the card. They had enough time to try and do something good, and I think that they did get Jade Cargill over as much as they could.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was all made for Jade Cargill, this whole match. So she's the only one to really talk about. Monday Night Raw is now starting. I'm looking at the TV right now. We are going to watch the first segment, see what's going on Monday Night Raw as soon as I'm sure Ricochet is going to fight JD McDonough or something, and then we'll come back on and we'll finish this up. So yeah, just give us a minute. We'll be right back. So that was the longest segment that I've ever watched in my life. That was 45 minutes of Cody Rhodes being out there talking to Triple H and talking to The Rock. And honestly, 45 minutes is a long time to watch one segment. I don't know if I picked up a single thing that happened. That was way too long. The Rock and Cody want to fight each other. That's basically what they really did not need to go out there for 45 minutes.
The Rock wants Cody's title.
Well, yeah.
Cody basically told him to get in line. I'm the champ. I'm your champ.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you say, even if you're my boss.
Yeah, and see, that took him literally 10 seconds to say, and yet it somehow took them 45 minutes to tell that story. I just wanted to get this podcast out of the way. So
don't make the podcast seem like a bother, though.
No, it's not. It's just that I want to watch Monday Night Raw, and but there's so much to talk about from WrestleMania. So we're going to move on to Sami Zayn versus Gunther, which was probably the match of the night for night one, and crazy that Sami Zayn actually won, and fair and square.
I'd make it a bigger upset than Cody beating Roman.
I would say
because it was almost 50-50 for Cody to win, but there was no one thinking Sami was just going to come out there and win.
And he did so well too, like in the way he performed. It was the fire back, like the
hulking up.
The hulking up. It was all about like the fiery build up to that eventual brainbuster on the top rope that he hasn't pulled off in the WWE probably ever, and then the haluva kick at the it was magnificent. It was probably the biggest pop other than Cody for me. Like, I popped real hard when Sammy won. It was such a fun match. Gunther 666 days as champion. That's kind of crazy. 666
The two longest
days.
reigning champs.
Both
no
gone.
more.
Both gone within a matter of
Rhea
1
Ripley
day.
now holding the longest reign
at a year. So yeah, but that was a lot of fun. I did not think that Sami Zayn was going to win it. I don't think it was that big of a moment because he's already held the IC title. I think that a world title would have been a bigger moment. But beating Gunther is a big moment.
Beating Gunther and beating him because of the reign.
And that when Sammy won, I really thought that meant that I was not going to see a Cody Rhodes victory later on or on the next night. Because I didn't think that they would dethrone Gunther and Roman both in the same WrestleMania. What? That would have been unthinkable a week ago.
There were only 2 titles, though, out of all of them that were retained.
Yeah,
Logan and Rhea.
Yeah, Logan and Rhea. So other than that, like, it was a
We
full
didn't even
sweep.
see, I understand, we didn't get to see a women's tag team match for the titles.
Yeah, they were
That was
they were in a match, but
Yeah, but I'm saying that was
Yeah.
the only title that we did not see.
yeah, but that was a fun match. Sami Zayn won. Big props to him. He had his WrestleMania moment 2 years in a row. I was really happy with that match. It was really good, and Gunther has been so great, and I think he's going to move on to bigger and better things, probably going after the world title at, like, Bash in Berlin. That's coming up in, I want to say, July. So, coming soon down the pipeline. Gunther, World Heavyweight Champion. We'll see it soon.
Without
I
a doubt.
it. But moving on to the 2 biggest matches of WrestleMania. Night 1, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth frickin' Rollins. What a build, what a match. The Rock can still go. I was talking so much shit about The Rock, saying that he was going to pop a quad. It's been 10 years since he's wrestled. He popped a quad last time. What's going to stop him? He worked a great match. I mean, he did what The Rock does best. He sells. He takes good bumps, and then he gets out of there.
He entertains.
And
he knows how to entertain.
And The Rock pinned Cody Rhodes, which led to what we just watched on Monday Night Raw with Cody Rhodes and The Rock having their altercation and The Rock calling out Cody Rhodes because he pinned him on night 1 of WrestleMania. So I think that was all fun and dandy. I mean, when that happened, I kind of went, oh, Cody Rhodes has got to win tomorrow. But then again, the Sammy Gunther thing happened right before that, which left me in a loop because I didn't think they would do Gunther and Roman the same way. But, I mean, fun match, fun tag team match. I had no problems with that entire match. I thought the entire thing was great.
No, the only thing I'd would have liked to see is tables, kendo sticks, the whole 9.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was.
We got that in the Bloodline Rules match the next night.
We got a kendo stick.
I think that there's a time and a place for all that stuff, and I think that they worked the match pretty well considering it's The Rock and Roman who are part-timers versus Cody and Seth who are full-timers.
Yeah, I mean, but Bloodline Rules, I thought Bloodline would have been out there to begin with just to be a presence.
Well, the tag team match wasn't Bloodline Rules.
No, I'm talking...
We're not there yet. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. We're not there yet. Hold on. We got to finish up with the tag team match before we move on to the biggest match of the night, the most important match of the night. The Rock got hit with a spear by Roman in the main event of night 1, which I think will lead into something later down the line. But for the night, they were cool. They were still together the next night. I think that tag team match really displayed how big the WWE has become over the past year. Over the past couple of years, and I think it all started when Cody Rhodes came back at WrestleMania 38, and it has led down the spiraling path that has led to the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and that tag team match was a shining example. But now moving in to WrestleMania Night 2 main event, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns held under Bloodline Rules. This is the match that was the most important of the night because it set forward the next how many years of wrestling storytelling all in one night. because this is now going to lead to The Rock versus Roman at next year's Mania. This is going to lead to Rock versus Cody down the line. This could lead to Cody versus Seth, Cody versus Randy. This could lead to so many new options rather than just Roman retreading the same waters that he's already done for 4 years. And I know a lot of you on the internet loved the fact that Roman Reigns was champ, and I've seen so many people on Instagram and Twitter and all the social media networks saying, WWE is finished, the story's finished, that means WWE is finished. They were doing so well, and now it's all gone. I'm sorry, dude, but you gotta get with the program already. Roman Reigns has had his time. 4 years was up. He was treading water. The only thing that was left to do was The Rock, and you don't need the title for that. It makes it way more obvious if you have The Rock and Roman for the title, who's going to win. It makes it a little less obvious now that Roman is on his downfall from the top. It makes more sense that The Rock could beat him in a future match because Roman is on a downfall now. There was no way that The Rock was going to win that title off of Roman Reigns. So I think that this worked out perfectly. I think that Cody Rhodes deserved this. I could tell, you guys could probably tell I'm real fired up about this. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, won the WWE title from Roman Reigns. I thought it was going to happen last year. It happened this year. I'm completely fine with that. The whole Avengers Endgame thing, tell us who came out. Who came out?
Oh, man. So from Cody's side, you had Sami Zayn, you had Seth. Actually, I'm lying. Sami Zayn did not come out to the end after
Yeah, he was
the
there
win,
for the celebration.
But you had Jay come out after. I'll start from the beginning. Jimmy came out to help Roman. Jay came out, speared Jimmy off the stage through 2 tables.
Yes.
Side by side.
That was the best moment of Jimmy versus Jay out of both nights.
That was better than their actual match versus each other.
Yes.
That right there was
I would agree.
better.
I would agree.
And then after that, you had Seth, Solo.
Solo
came out, spiked Cody.
And
Roman
they did the double spike spear.
Yeah.
And then Cody still managed to kick out.
Kicked out of it. John Cena came out.
John Cena came out and fought Solo Sikoa, leading back from their rivalry last year.
He attitude adjusted, or hit the attitude adjustment on Roman.
Yeah.
And then took Solo out of the ring and did the same thing to Solo, but put him through the French announcer's table.
I think it was the Spanish announce table. But then it ended up The Rock's music hits. The Rock comes out, has a stare down with John Cena. This brings me back to right when I started watching wrestling, because right when I started watching wrestling, The Rock and John Cena were in the programs for WrestleMania. It was right in between that time from Rock versus Cena 1 versus Rock Cena 2. That's when I started watching wrestling. So this was a big nostalgia kick for me. And I thought it was amazing. I mean, The Rock lays out John Cena in the middle of the ring, and then the most random thing that possibly could have happened in the entire company, probably. I thought Stone Cold was going to come out, but then dong.
No, you're actually forgetting. Right before that, the Shield music plays. Right after Rock hits the rock bottom. No, it's before. It's John Cena and The Rock are having their stare down. Shield music plays. Seth slides into the ring with a chair to hit Rock. Roman Superman punches Rollins. And then Rock hits the rock bottom on Cena. And then Rock standing there in the ring. Blackout.
Yeah.
The Undertaker appears. Craziest, most random. That was the most random.
Stone Cold would have made more sense. Anyone would have made more sense. I didn't get why the Undertaker showed up in a beanie and a sweatshirt and sweatpants.
That was his bad boy. No,
it wasn't. He was wearing a sweatshirt and sweatpants, dude. He was wearing a sweatshirt. That was not Biker Taker. That was just sweatshirt. I just got off of my couch Undertaker. He was wearing a sweatshirt.
He did his thing, though. He came in, he choke slammed The Rock. Lights went out, and he took everybody with him backstage.
Yeah, lights go out, and then the Undertaker and The Rock are both gone. They both just disappear from the ring. And that led to the eventual finish, which was Cody Rhodes grabbing Roman Reigns after Roman Reigns attempted the spear. He kicked him up, grabbed him from behind, pulled him down, once, crossroads twice, and then he picks him back up, just like he did last year. He's firing up, and then he hits it the third time. 1, 2, 3. Crowd erupts. I erupt sitting right here in this seat. It was just exactly what I was looking for from my wrestling. I needed that in my life. It was adrenaline, and I there was need for a change, and I'm really excited to see where this whole Cody Rhodes run goes. Are you excited, or do you miss Roman now?
It's not that I miss Roman. It's that to think about San Martino holding that title for so long back then. We were in a new age. I don't think, no disrespect to the guys back then, but I don't think any of them, except obviously San Martino, would be able to hold the belt as long as Roman. And I think Roman would have been the best candidate to break such a record.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And then Roman can be the top GOAT, I guess if you want to call it. I consider him an icon more than a GOAT. John Cena, GOAT. Like, I would John Cena's both.
4 years is better than 16 title reigns, because you hold the title 16 times, that means you had to lose it 16 times.
I'm talking about just in this competition.
No.
Roman Reigns never...
Roman Reigns had the better competition in his title reigns. John Cena fought dudes like Batista and Randy and Triple H.
I was talking about just regular matches. I'm not talking title reign, anything. You've never seen Roman put Big Show on his fucking shoulders. You've never seen him do that with Big Show and Edge, because he did that with both of them.
Yeah, but I've seen him stack Edge on top of Daniel Bryan and pin him 1, 2, 3. I've never seen John Cena do that. You can go back and forth with this kind of stuff. It's all subjective, but Roman Reigns definitely had the more impactful title reign than John Cena. I'd say John Cena's had the more impactful career, but Roman Reigns as a champion, way more impactful than John Cena. I'd say that Roman Reigns has carried this company on his back for 4 years, and John Cena never really had to do that, because John Cena always had people that were on his level, whether they were just like slightly underneath, but he always had people like The Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Randy Orton, always guys that were on his level that he could match up with. Roman Reigns really had like Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes, guys like that, and he still demolished them all. None of them beat him until Cody Rhodes did tonight. John Cena got beat by all those guys that you mentioned. He's been beaten by everyone in the company. Roman Reigns, you can't say that about Roman Reigns anymore. He's beaten by Cody Rhodes, and that's about it now. So well, he didn't. That wasn't even a one-on-one match. So that was a tag team match. So I don't even think that counts. But no, I definitely say Roman has had the more impactful title reign, and I do appreciate everything that Roman Reigns did. But it's time for him to step aside, because it is the time for the Woe Movement, Cody Rhodes. And I want to thank you, Tyler, for joining us for the review of WrestleMania. I am the champion now. I won the predictions for last night's WrestleMania.
It won't be for long.
Nope, because I will defend this every week from now on, whether it's a quiz, whether it's trivia, anything, I will defend. I am a defending champion. I want to be like Seth Rollins. I'm going to be every single week just banging out videos for you guys, because I know this is going to be a lot of fun. We wanted to get this up and running for WrestleMania and for UFC 300. We're about to record UFC 300 predictions right after this video. I've got Elijah sitting there off screen right now. He's behind the cameras. Say what's up, bro. Okay, you probably didn't hear him, but who cares? He'll be on screen in a few minutes. So thank you, Tyler. You got any final words you want to say about WrestleMania 40 before we head out?
What does CM Punk do?
CM Punk heals himself because he's a broken little, got the bad arm.
Who do you think he goes for?
Oh, he's probably going to start off with Drew McIntyre and then eventually go on to fight for the world title.
Drew McIntyre?
Yeah.
You mean just feud with him for a little bit?
No world title. Just feud with Drew McIntyre for a bit.
Okay.
He's got way more beef with Drew than he does with Seth right now, honestly.
Do you think CM Punk lasts another year to somehow get some fight at WrestleMania next year?
As long as he doesn't get injured, I feel like he can last
or another fight and then lie to the whole wrestling community.
Yeah, we'll see about that, because CM Punk, I mean, he was on that Ariel Helwani MMA Hour show, and there was a lot A lot of people saying some bad stuff about CM Punk after that, but I don't see what the problem is. CM Punk was just speaking his mind. You guys got to calm down a little bit. CM Punk, I'm sure he didn't lie about anything. I don't know why you guys think that he lied about all that stuff. That was probably just him telling the truth. I mean, you should probably not believe the 25-year-old kid Jack Perry, who's probably just trying to save his own career. CM Punk has nothing to lie about. Why would he lie? He's in the biggest company in the world. He's not even in that company anymore. He has literally no reason to lie anymore. So I let it go. That's all I have to say. But thank you, Tyler. WrestleMania 40 was awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for watching this show. UFC 300 predictions after this. Stay tuned for that if you guys care. Thank you very much. This has been the Hardcore and the Casual Podcast. I have been Justin. This has been Tyler.
Yo.
Thank you very much. Peace out.
Peace.